On Christmas Eve of 2008, a car company had hours left before it would miss payroll entirely. Not weeks, not days, hours. Merry Christmas, here's a countdown clock. Its bank account held $9 million. Sounds like a lot, right? For a car company trying to build the future of transportation, that's basically couch cushion change. The man in charge had already dumped almost everything he personally owned into keeping the lights on. He was reportedly borrowing money from friends just to pay his own rent. A guy who used to be worth over $100 million on paper, hitting up buddies for gas money. Rough year. Every major bank he asked for a loan said no. Not let us think about it, no. Just no. So how does a company survive a night like that and end up becoming the most valuable car company on the planet? Spoiler, it involves a rocket company almost blowing up its last chance at the exact same time. Because apparently one company on fire wasn't enough drama for December. To understand it, we don't even start with Elon Musk. We start with two engineers, a battery, and a sports car nobody thought could actually work. In 2003, two Silicon Valley engineers, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, started a company on a pretty bold idea. Electric cars didn't have to be slow, ugly, and apologetic like a golf cart that went to therapy. They could be fast, they could be genuinely cool, people could actually want one. They named the company after Nikola Tesla, the guy who basically invented modern electricity and then died broke and forgotten. Foreshadowing? Maybe. Let's keep going. In 2004, a young guy who just made a small fortune selling PayPal decided to invest and become chairman. His name was Elon Musk. He didn't found the company. He just showed up with money and big opinions, which, to be fair, is a pretty accurate description of most chairmen in history. Their first car, the Roadster, was supposed to prove electric cars could be genuinely thrilling. Roughly 200 miles on a charge, speeds that could embarrass a lot of gas-powered sports cars. Price tag, about $109,000. Not exactly a car for the guy who just wants to get groceries. Building it turned out to be way harder and way more expensive than anyone thought. The plan was $25 million in development costs. The actual bill, about $140 million. That gap between what we budgeted and what it actually cost would basically become Tesla's whole personality for the next several years. By 2008, the company was burning cash fast, and the timing could not have been worse. That year, the entire global financial system was quietly falling apart. Banks were failing, credit was vanishing. Investors, who might normally take a flyer on a weird little electric car startup, suddenly didn't want to take a flyer on anything, including their own mattress. Musk had already put most of his PayPal money into his companies, roughly $70 million into Tesla, and another $100 million into a rocket company he'd also started, called SpaceX. Because apparently one impossible industry wasn't enough. Both companies were now, at the exact same time, running out of money. Cool. Musk had to make a decision that had no good option hiding inside it anywhere. Split what he had left between both companies and risk losing both. Or dump everything into saving one and basically sign the other's death certificate. He later called it one of the hardest decisions of his life. I could either split the funds I had between the two companies or focus them on one company with certain death for the other, he said. In the end, he split it, fully aware the decision could easily end with him losing both anyway. Not exactly a strategy you'd find in a business school textbook. Meanwhile, SpaceX was having its own nightmare. Its Falcon 1 rocket had failed to reach orbit 3 times in a row. 3. If a fourth attempt failed too, that was very likely the end of SpaceX and a big chunk of Musk's remaining money along with it. Part 2 of 2, pace this second. Then in the last week of December 2008, 2 disasters somehow flipped into 2 miracles, almost back to back. SpaceX's 4th launch finally reached orbit, 4th time's the charm apparently. Days later, NASA handed SpaceX a contract worth about $1.6 billion to fly cargo to the International Space Station. From "we might be done forever" to "the government just handed us over $1 billion in about a week." Wild swing. Tesla's rescue was even tighter and somehow more dramatic. On December 24, 2008, in the literal final hour of the final day, it was possible to close the deal. Tesla's financing round went through. 6 in the evening, Christmas Eve. Musk later said if it hadn't closed right then, payroll would have bounced 2 days later. Imagine getting that email on December 26. Musk throwing in his own last dollars apparently gave the other investors the confidence to jump in too. Nothing says trust me like the CEO going personally broke alongside you. Even after that, the drama wasn't over, because of course it wasn't. Tesla landed a battery deal with Daimler worth around $40 million, and in 2009, Daimler bought a 10% stake for $50 million. A real established car company putting actual money in. That mattered a lot when basically nobody believed in electric cars yet. Then in January of 2010, Tesla got a $465 million loan from the U.S. Department of Energy, part of a program built to boost advanced vehicle manufacturing. Years later, Musk publicly thanked the Department of Energy, and specifically American taxpayers, for the help. Worth remembering next time someone tells you government programs never do anything. That loan bought Tesla enough runway to go public 6 months later, in the summer of 2010, becoming the first American car company to IPO in decades. Stock closed its first day up 40% from its $17 starting price. Not bad for a company that, less than 2 years earlier, was hours from missing payroll. You'd think that's the happy ending. It is not. Years later, while trying to scale up production of the Model 3, Tesla again came within weeks of running out of cash. Musk reportedly slept on the actual factory floor during what he called production hell, which honestly sounds like a great name for a haunted house attraction. Employees were personally calling hesitant customers to beg them to follow through on their orders. At one particularly grim point, Musk reportedly told Google's Larry Page that Google should be ready to buy Tesla if it went under. That's not confidence. That's a backup plan whispered under your breath. But the pattern held. Instead of playing it safe, Tesla just kept pushing through crisis after crisis, betting the harder road was still the right one. In May of 2013, Tesla posted its first quarterly profit ever, about $11 million after selling close to 5,000 Model S sedans. The stock jumped. People started taking the whole thing seriously. By 2020, Tesla was consistently profitable every year. Its value eventually climbed past every other car company on Earth combined, turning it into the most valuable automaker in the world, built on technology the traditional auto industry had spent years dismissing as a cute science project with no future. None of it was guaranteed, a financing round closing 1 hour later, a fourth rocket launch failing like the first three, a decision made under insane pressure to split limited money between two companies instead of picking one and letting the other die quietly. Tesla had $9 million left once, hours from missing payroll. History doesn't usually remember how close the story came to ending on a random Tuesday night in December. It remembers what got built in the years after, because that night somehow, against all odds and several bank rejections, it didn't end.